What's up, y'all? Advance here. So, trending this week, Michael B Jordon. Alright, so for those of y'all that don't know, last week on the red carpet, Michael B Jordon was confronted by a reporter that he went to high school with. And he had a look at me now moment, you know? So, hey, Mike Jones made a whole record about it. Back then, hoes didn't want me. Now, hoes all on it. so he he just did a whole record about that. But in any case, so this woman named L'Oreal with the Morning Hustle was on a red carpet with Michael B Jordon for the private screening for Creed 3. So she approached him and said, hey, I'm here with Michael B Jordon, actor, director, because this was the movie that he directed. So this is all him, you know. And she was saying like, yeah, and you know, me and you go way back and to such and such high school. I forgot the name of the high school that she said, and he was like, oh yeah, the corny kid, right? So that comment right there was so polarizing to the internet, because there are some people that are saying that he shouldn't have said that. There are some people that didn't see nothing wrong with him saying that. Me personally, I thought that was lighthearted, you know, or it was a jab. It was a jab, but you know, it was a light jab, you know, like, because I think he could have been way more petty with that. But in any case, so her response to that was, "Oh, stop! I did not say that. I did not." Fellas, how many of y'all had women do that? Oh, stop! I did not. And ladies, how many of y'all do that? Y'all know damn well y'all lie. I did not. Oh man, but in any case, no. So moving forward. All right, going forward. So after that initial interaction, and things might have gotten a little bit awkward because, you know, and then like there was an interview that actually took place afterwards. I thought that happened after the interview, but no, it happened before the interview, during the introduction. So there was a 2-minute interview where, like, you know, Michael B Jordon he maintained his frame. He answered every single question that she asked him. He didn't blow her off. He didn't say, all right, fuck you or nothing like that or nothing. He didn't rehash the past either, you know. So, and then a lot of people, all right, so then people would say like, all right, well, why bring it up at all? So here's the thing, and I probably should have prefaced this whole video before I said I said anything. If you are holding on to grudges from high school, like petty shit, I mean, I understand if it was something that's just like completely like unforgivable, like disrespect on the highest level. That's something that's something different. But in this instance, no, like that's something like petty. Let that shit go. So basically, L'Oreal, the woman from the interview, was talking on a podcast a couple years ago, back in 2021, with a couple of her co-hosts, and on the subject of Michael B Jordon came up. I don't know what led up to it. I'm just going to give you the subject matter. So the woman said, well, you know, I kind of saw Michael B Jordon as to be like just a nice corny guy, you know. I mean, not to be a slight, but you know, like, you know, because corny guys treat you the best. So back in my day, oh my God, I'm old. Back in my day, they called those nice guys. You know, that's where the term "the nice guys finish last" come from. But we're gonna get into that whole dynamic of the word corny later, or possibly on another video. So L'Oreal then joins in on this conversation and saying like, yeah, and you know, I actually went to high school with him. Mind you, this is the second time that this has come up in this entire video. So it was like, yeah, I went to high school with him, and you know, we used to always make fun of him, you know, because one, his name was Michael Jordan, and you know, we're like, yeah, you ain't no Jordan. And I mean, damn, like, the funny thing is, like, he actually got that name from his father. And up until recently, like maybe about like 2 or 3 years ago, I thought he was Michael Jordan's son, but he wasn't. So turns out his name is Michael B Jordon. His father's name is Michael A Jordon. They made a joke about that in Space Jam, but no, that's literally his name. Like, you know, but and in any case, like, I think his father being named that was strictly a coincidence, because like I would assume that he's probably Michael Jordan's age, which means he was born and named before the name Michael Jordan became a household name, unless he changed it in his later years, which would make that very weird. But in any case, so all right, so moving on. All right, so she like then says like, well, you know, we made fun of him because, you know, one, his name was Michael Jordan, he didn't ball. Two, he brought headshots to school because, you know, apparently acting was his thing. Like, if you don't know what a headshot is, it's basically a passport picture, or very stylized pictures of your head, you know, and faces at various angles, you know. So yeah, but in any case, when they so then she's talking and she's basically backing up everything that she said. Now she does come out and say, well, look at him now. Another thing that she said in the interview was basically like, yeah, like, well, you know, you're definitely killing things now, and you're not corny no more. So, you know, and it might have been a little bit of a, yeah, right, you know, like, because one of the clips actually showed Michael B Jordan's face, and he kind of had that face like, bitch, please. Or like, yeah, because one of the, I couldn't hear what he was saying while she was on her explanation, but you know, I know how to read lips really good. He was like, what's up, and you know what, and that's an eat crow moment, like, for everybody that teased him in high school. And quite frankly, I don't have a problem with it. Joe Budden, on the other hand, came out and he was like, all right, well, you doing that makes you corny. And I was like, you just can't win. So, but, you know, it's like, you get picked on in high school, and like, yeah, when you finally come up, all your hard work pays off. You just can't do nothing. You gotta handle it with more grace, you know. But I mean, now somebody could look at it and be like, all right, well, you know, that was kind of petty for him to do that shit. And me, I didn't see anything wrong with it, because he could have handled it way worse. You know, like, he just made the one comment, and, you know, he said, what's up, you know, like that. But after that initial reaction, the interview took place, and he answered every single question that she asked him. And, you know, and he maintained frame, and, you know, he didn't flinch. He didn't blow her off. He didn't do any outbursts or anything. He didn't get emotional. Like, I mean, you can argue him mentioning the whole corny conversation as emotional or not, but, you know, I think it was just part of a conversation. And the fact that the media really spun this shit up, you know, by saying, like, I saw one that said Michael B Jordon confronted reporter on past with high school, or whatever the case, even though she walked up to him. or Michael B Jordon confronts childhood bully. And like, I've even seen some headlines calling this woman a bully. And I was like, no. Did she probably say some shit that she probably shouldn't have said? Children can be terrible. Kids are stupid and terrible. I'm saying this as a guy that was on the receiving end of a lot of riffing, so look, children, like kids can be terrible, but you know what? In the end, we all grow up. And the thing is that, like, I don't think that was his bully. Now, do I think that he might have tried to ask her out and she might have turned him down? Maybe gentle, maybe harsh. I don't know. I wasn't there. I can't speak to that. But I would believe that. But no, I don't think he was. I don't think she was his bully. I think that she was a name on a long list of people that didn't expect him to come to anything. So, yeah. And you know what? And he had a look at you now moment, a look at me now moment. So, hey, he saw the opportunity popped up and he took it. So, I don't know. I even saw somebody actually make a comparison of this to Joseph from the Bible. The guy that became the, he ended up becoming, he went from being a slave, being sold into slavery by his brothers, to being the Pharaoh's second in command. And then when he ran into him, they didn't even recognize him. And he kind of fucked with him a little bit. And, he fucked with him a little bit. And yeah, and then eventually, they came back and learned their lesson. And he's like, hey, y'all, I'm just fucking around. It's me. And it was like, oh, snap, Joseph, we thought you died. And in the end, they all apologized. And, he took care of his whole family. So, yeah, so after that, the the conversation happened, and then of course Joe Budden spoke up on this. Him and a couple of members of his podcast, except the one dude. 'Cause I don't know anybody that's on that roster over there aside from Joe Budden. I used to know Rory and Maul, but what happened with them happened with them. And then the one dude said, yo, this was one instance. I'm standing with Michael B Jordon. And that was that. The one chick that's over there said, it's funny how you say how you could be sitting next to somebody that says some fucked up shit and then receive all of the blowback. So that's very important for later. So then the other dude said, well, I would have said something to her off the air. Why the fuck would I talk to her off the air? Why did I talk to her off the air? She addressed me when the cameras was rolling. So, hey, you prepared to you knew what you did because you talked about it. So get ready to receive whatever comes with you talking about, whatever comes from this question. And like I said, he could have handled it way worse. Nothing happened. Like, he could have just said, all right, I'm done with this, and just walked off and just completely just disrespected her and ignored her. So, hey, but he finished the interview. Even Jonathan Majors came over at one point and took part in the interview or whatever. And yeah, it was just that. So Joe Budden then goes off on a rant and says that him doing that was corny in itself, and that's why people call you corny. I was like, all right, so okay, so he's corny. All right, so then he's saying, all right, now when the other people said that, they said that they mentioned that it wasn't a slight. So the actual definition of corny means goes something along the lines of being very sentimental. However, how corny is actually used is to refer to somebody as lame or uncool. And it is, that word was meant as a slight, so, man, you corny or whatever, or you corny. And once again, how it's used, it depends on differing tones or whatever the case. There's different levels of maliciousness with it. But the word corny was never a compliment. It's a slight. It is a slight. And you know what? Hey, him coming up, he had a look at me now moment. So, I don't know. In my opinion, I don't know. Joe Budden probably should not have opened his mouth with that. So, but him saying something polarized this situation even more, because now, he said the Order 66 phrase, in terms of black women with, by comparing it, he says, by comparing it with him interacting with her to him interacting with a white woman, so, there's that. And of course, like, anybody that says that is like, no, not no height, bitch. So, yeah, so, I don't know. I just think that he probably should have, that was probably his perfect opportunity to keep whatever he said to himself. But what do I know? I'm just a guy sitting here on YouTube with my 56 subscribers. Like, comment, subscribe, by the way. And, he's the guy with a big podcast. And he yells and talks about shit. But yeah, so bottom line is that, yeah, he had a look at me now moment. And, hey, Michael B Jordon is killing it in the game. Nobody was hurt from this. There's no ongoing beef. I'm pretty sure that they're not even talking about this shit anymore. The people that's involved with this. So, yeah. In any case, what did you think of it? What do you think about this whole Michael B Jordon situation? Do you think he was petty? Do you think that he probably could have handled it better? Do you think he handled it right? Have you seen Creed 3? I haven't. I plan on it. If you have, no spoilers, please. In any case, my name's Advance. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe on everything. I'm out.